The corridors of Celestra Station hummed with a low, mechanical rhythm, but Kellan barely noticed. He had spent months on the frontier outpost, mapping distant asteroid belts and studying alien flora, yet nothing could have prepared him for the mission he was about to face. A recent distress signal had led him to an injured being on a deserted section of the station. When he reached the source, he found her, an alien woman with skin that shimmered faintly under the station lights and eyes that glowed a soft violet. She was unconscious, injured badly, and seemingly in shock. Kellan's first instinct was to help. Despite protocol, he carried her to the medical bay, placing her on a healing bed. Monitors beeped softly as the advanced medtech worked to stabilize her condition. Her breathing was shallow, her pulse weak. "She's alive," he muttered under his breath. But barely. The unexpected guardian. Hours passed before she stirred. When her eyes finally opened, they were sharp, aware, and immediately focused on him. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice melodic but strained. "I'm Kellan. I found you injured." "You're safe now," he replied carefully. "Can you tell me your name?" A faint smirk appeared on her lips. "I am Seryna," she said, though her tone carried a warning. "And you should not have found me." Kellan raised his hands. "I didn't mean any harm. You were hurt. I just wanted to help." Her eyes studied him for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, she relaxed slightly, allowing the medbed to scan and heal her injuries further. "Humph. Perhaps you are more courageous than most humans I've encountered." Courage, Kellan thought wryly. It was more like stubbornness. Still, he kept his focus on her, aware that any misstep could trigger hostility. A night together. As the station's artificial night cycle began, Kellan offered Seryna a sleeping pod beside his own. The alien warrior hesitated. "I do not require your protection," she said. "You've been injured," he replied gently. "It's safer if you rest near someone." She considered him, eyes narrowing, and then surprisingly accepted. The pod's energy shield dimmed to allow a shared space, and Seryna reclined, her form surprisingly small despite her imposing presence during waking hours. Kellan drifted into a light sleep, exhausted from the day's events. It was the first time since arriving on the station that he felt a semblance of safety, and her presence beside him offered a strange, calming warmth. The bite. It was in the quiet hours, deep in the station's artificial night, that everything changed. Kellan awoke to a sharp sting on his neck. His hand went instinctively to the pain, and he froze. Two faint, crimson marks glimmered against his skin. Seryna's violet eyes were fixed on him, and he could see a flicker of guilt, or was it hesitation, in her gaze. I had to," she whispered, voice trembling in a way he hadn't heard before. "You bit me," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Why?" "I could not explain it otherwise," she said. "It is a bond ritual among my people. One bite, a connection is formed. I did not intend to frighten you, only to ensure your survival, to keep you alive and safe with me." Kellan's mind reeled. A bond? Survival? The warmth spreading from the bite seemed almost impossible, a fusion of his own blood with something intrinsic to her alien physiology. "Safe with you?" he repeated, voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," she replied. "The bond is real now. You will feel it as will I. We are linked." Consequences and connection. The next few days were surreal. Kellan discovered that the bite had changed him. His senses were sharper, his reflexes faster, and he felt a connection to Seryna that went beyond words. He could almost anticipate her movements, her emotions. The alien warrior, normally cold and guarded, began to reveal parts of herself. She taught him to navigate the hidden sectors of Celestra Station, to understand its traps and secrets. They fought off rogue drones together, relying on their new bond to move in perfect unison. Kellan realized that the bite had done more than establish a mystical connection. It had forged trust, synchronization, and emotional intimacy. Seryna, too, seemed affected. She smiled more often, let down her defenses, and spoke to him with a warmth that was impossible to ignore. During one quiet moment in the observation deck, as the station's lights reflected across distant nebulae, she finally said, "I trust you, Kellan. More than I thought I could." Kellan's chest tightened. "I trust you too, Seryna. More than anything." The revelation. One evening, as they examined a newly discovered energy conduit in the station, Seryna paused. "You must understand something," she said softly. "The bite is more than a bond. It is a pledge. By allowing it, you are now part of my life, as I am part of yours. We are linked in ways beyond human comprehension." Kellan swallowed hard. He hesitated, realizing the depth of what she was telling him. He wasn't just connected to her physically or spiritually. He was bound to her existence, as she was to his. "Yes," Seryna said, her violet eyes intense. "And I will not let you leave me. Not now, not ever." The words stunned him, but a strange peace settled over his chest. The fear and tension that had dominated their first encounter melted away. He realized that the bite, which had shocked and frightened him at first, had brought him closer to Seryna than he had ever imagined possible. Facing danger together. Their bond was tested sooner than expected. A massive power surge in the station threatened to collapse the energy conduits, trapping both of them in a lethal section. Alarms blared as they raced against time, moving with an instinctive understanding of each other's actions. Kellan blocked falling debris to shield Seryna, and she moved with unerring precision to stabilize the conduit. Their connection, formed in blood, guided their movements seamlessly. When they finally emerged into the open observation deck, gasping for air, Kellan realized he no longer feared the chaos around them. Seryna placed a hand on his arm, her touch grounding him. "See? Together, we are stronger than the station's dangers," she whispered. He nodded, overwhelmed by emotion. "I never imagined I'd feel like this with anyone, especially not someone like you." Ending. As the station's artificial night faded into the glow of distant stars, Kellan and Seryna stood side by side, gazing out at the nebulae. The bond on his neck throbbed softly, a constant reminder of the connection they now shared. "I thought I was saving you," Kellan said, his voice quiet. "But I think you saved me too." Seryna's eyes softened. "And now, human, you are mine, as I am yours." The warmth between them was undeniable. Two beings from entirely different worlds had found each other in the most unexpected of ways, united not just by fate, but by choice, trust, and the extraordinary bond forged in a single, life-altering bite. For the first time, Kellan didn't fear the unknown. With Seryna by his side, he felt ready to face any challenge, any threat, and any adventure the universe could throw at them, together.